Okay, so hi guys. Today I wanted to make a little video on my experiences with alternative modeling so far. I've been modeling for about 6 months, but I'm going to have to take a little break soon because I will be moving out of state to college, so I'm a little sad about that. But yeah, so the way that I got started is that someone who I was kind of friends with, like more of an acquaintance than an actual friend, she was modeling, and I noticed that she was posting photos of it on her Facebook and all that stuff, so I messaged her and I was like, hey, like, how'd you get into this? Modeling is something that I've thought about, like, kind of as a joke or in passing, like, play around and joke around in the mirror and whatnot, and so I started thinking about it, like, I've been thinking about it as, like, that kind of way for, like, 2-ish years, and then I started thinking about it more seriously after I saw my friend like posting this and whatever, posting her stuff and whatever. So I messaged her and I was like, hey, how did you get started? And she recommended me to someone that she's been working with a lot. And I talked to him and we set up a day to shoot and all that stuff. And it kind of went really terribly. Like, it went very awful because I was really nervous and I had absolutely no idea what to do. So I'd say, after that, I like binge watched America's Next Top Model and like New Zealand's Next Top Model, Australia's Next Top Model, all of the Next Top Models from everywhere. So I had like a little bit more of a better understanding, and that actually really helped. Like, I don't really go for that kind of look or that kind of fashion, but it really helped by seeing like what girls do and like what works and what didn't work. And I know that a lot of models on those shows, they look at magazines, so magazines help too, although I'm not someone to spend like $5 on a magazine that I don't really care about. But yeah, whatever. So even if you don't know anyone who is a good photographer, you can always get your friends to like take photos. Just make sure that you have like a camera or like a high quality phone or something like that. Just get photos. And the next thing that I did was I went on Model Mayhem, and Model Mayhem is like the site in America to do that kind of stuff for. It's for photographers, it's for models, hair and makeup artists, body painters, all that kind of stuff. I know that in the UK it's Purpleport, but I don't know. I know some people in America use Purpleport, but it's mostly for the people in the UK. But I uploaded a few photos into there, and then I filled out like a bio, like who I am, what my style is, what I'm kind of looking for in my short-term and long-term goals, and then it asked for like measurements and weight and height and all that kind of stuff. So I put all of that in, and I got flooded with requests like immediately. Like, granted, I only had 3 or 4 photos up, but like, I got flooded with requests because the way that it works is that all the new members get like a spotlight on their page. So anyone who's like looking for a photographer or looking for a model, they're going to see the newer people first, and it dies down after like a few weeks or so. Yeah, it died down after about 1 or 2 weeks. I also joined a lot of Facebook groups. So Facebook groups, there's a bajillion of them. It really all depends on what state you're from, what area of the state you're from, and what region of the country that you're from. I'm from Massachusetts, so I joined Boston Models and Photographers, Massachusetts Models and Photographers, New England Models and Photographers, and different, like, basically the same idea of groups, but different groups with that name, if that makes sense. I'm really bad at describing things. But I uploaded some photos there, and I was like, hey, like, I'm new to this, and I'm looking for more experience and all that kind of stuff. And a few people like hit me up and all that stuff, but you're really gonna find a lot of your work at first on Model Mayhem. So Model Mayhem, a lot of people will come to you first, but if you want to search, then it's also a really good way to search because you can do it in advanced settings, and you can find people who are new to it, who have some experience, who are very experienced, who are looking for trade photos, who are looking for page assignments. I'm sorry, I just like lost it. And I think that it's best if you're starting out to find someone who's in relatively the same boat as you. It's obviously good to do 1 or 2 like paid shoots because you want to get like good feedback and good quality photos from an experienced photographer. However, you can't, like, it's going to be very hard to do that for like everything. So if you find someone in the same boat, then then they build up experience and you build up experience, and both of you get to see what kind of works for you. And it's better with that kind of stuff. You can find with that kind of thing, you can more easily find people willing to do trade photos. So trade photos, or time for print, or trade for photos, or whatever, it basically means it's for free. Like, you're both trying out different stuff, and so you get photos, they get photos, you can post them, and all that kind of stuff. I don't really know a better way of describing it other than it's basically working for free. And I know that the goal of modeling or whatever is to get paid and to get published, but you need to start somewhere. Like, I know that me personally would feel if I just automatically jumped in, like, asking to be paid, like, the first, like, 5 or 6 shoots that I did were absolute crap. Like, the first one was awful, and then I progressively got better, but compared to where I am now to where I was the first handful of times, I've improved so much, and I can see that, and I'm very happy about that. And I know that this is gonna sound really weird, but a way that you can improve is to just practice in the mirror. Like, get one of those, like, really long, like, full body mirrors, and it's gonna help you a lot because you can see, like, what angles look better, or if you twist your body like this, how does this look, or what if I try doing this, because there's nothing more awkward than going to a shoot and just not knowing what to do. My second shoot, I went all the way down to Connecticut. It was a 2.5 hour drive for someone who was testing out new equipment, and I had, like, no idea what to do. Like, the first time, it was really awkward and I was so nervous. The second time, it was a little bit better, but I was still awkward and nervous and I didn't really know what to do. Thank God the people were, like, really understanding and, like, they got it, and they were very helpful with it because they were also, like, trying to learn stuff and whatnot. But yeah, so when it comes to being paid, like, that's something you have to feel confident enough in yourself. Confidence is a very important part of modeling, and I think that it's really helped with my I think that modeling has really helped with my confidence, so it's kind of like a two-way kind of thing. I've always been a little bit self-conscious, and image has always really been important to me, and I think that's why I kind of started modeling. And if you're self-conscious, or you're nervous or scared, or you're in an uncomfortable situation, it's going to show up in photos. Like, it's going to be very obvious. Like, looking back at the photos from, like, my first shoot, like, most of them, like, there were 3 or 4 of them that were good and that I liked, but out of the 9 or 10 that I got, the rest of them, I looked very uncomfortable and very awkward. And you have to have confidence in yourself that you're going to produce good images, because otherwise they're just going to be subpar. And the way that it's helped with my self-confidence is that, like, I love, like, hearing feedback from photographers, like, oh yes, like, that's good, great, beautiful, or hold that, or, like, something like that. Like, for me, it really helps, because I'm still in the process of learning. We're always able to learn more as we grow up with everything. It really helps that I hear, like, a photographer, like, give me feedback. Part of the reason that, like, my first shoot went so terribly is because the photographer that I was working with was a very experienced person, and I don't think he was expecting to be as much as a teacher as I needed at the time. So he was just silent the whole time, and he said nothing, and it just made me a lot more awkward. I'm kind of a shy person. I'm an introvert, so it just being around people that I don't know very well and not talking at all just makes me very uncomfortable, and I don't know if that's nervous or not, but just awkward silence and all that jazz. But I recommend not paying or not requesting pay until you're confident enough with what you can do or what you think you can do. And when it comes to, like, paying and stuff like that, I feel like if a photographer comes to you and asks for your service or whatever, then you can ask. You can be like if someone comes up to me and will be like, hey, I want to shoot this kind of thing, then I'll be like, okay, my rates are like this. But if I go up to someone, I would never go up to someone and ask to work with them and expect them to pay. For me, I don't know how normal that is, but I feel like that's kind of rude. Like, I'm asking you to do something for me and I want you to pay me on top of it. That's just a little rude, in my opinion. So something else you're definitely going to run into is called guys with cameras. And basically these are people who are not photographers, not looking to be like photographers, not looking to submit to magazines or build a portfolio, but just people who have a camera and who have like money. It's usually a lot of money, like $200 for like an hour or whatever, and they'll be like, come over to my house and I'll pay you money and you can shoot. And I've had like a few of these offers, and usually they're usually kind of like pervy, like they're most likely going to be pervy, because I do some like boudoir or lingerie, whatever, stuff, and people will be like, oh, come over to my house and do like a 2-hour nude session for like $300, and it's like no, because that's just really awkward. And yeah, just if someone asks you to do a private shoot, that's usually like a bad sign. Like, it's usually kind of pervy, and or their intentions or whatever are going to be like pervy. And something else is that, like, trust your gut instinct. If you feel like something is wrong or someone is wrong, you're probably right. Like, there are instances that I've talked to people and something about them has seemed like a little off, and I've talked to people about them and they're like, oh yeah, I worked with him, like, he's terrible or she's terrible, or just whatever, like whoever the person may be. So yeah, another thing, this is getting more into safety, is trusting your gut, but it's also bringing someone with you, or at the very least letting someone know where you are. I always bring my boyfriend with me when I first meet someone and like first work with them, only because most of the people that you are meeting online, and there's always going to be some safety precautions that you need to take when meeting a stranger online. And if you're trying to meet up with someone and work with someone and they say, no, you cannot bring anyone, then that's like a bad sign. Like, there are many, many cases of models going to these kind of things and meeting up with photographers and getting raped or killed or kidnapped or something like that. And you are always going to find someone better. Like, if someone doesn't want you to bring someone with you, you can find someone else. There's always going to be somebody else. Like, your safety is not worth getting a few good photos. Like, you are worth more than that. And like, speaking of that, I don't know why I just thought of this, but image. One last thing I wanted to touch upon. I think it's kind of obvious what kind of style I like and what kind of look that I'm going for. I have found it so hard to find people who are willing to shoot this kind of stuff, because most people that I've so far talked to are looking for a far more conventional type of look, and there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. If that is your look, if that is your style, then you do you. Like, that is all on you. Like, do what makes you happy. And if you have a more conventional style, then you are going to get a lot more business. However, I think it's kind of obvious that I don't have a very conventional style, and this is something that really irritates me. I have been told by many people that I should change my look because they don't like it, or because I'll get more business if I change my look. Like, I remember someone wanted to work with me, and I was like, oh, like, I took a look at their portfolio, and I was like, you have a beautiful portfolio, and like, there's a lot in it, and like, it's really nice, but it's not really the style I'm looking for, because I'm looking for something like darker and more alternative. Sorry, but whatever. And he messaged me back with like a 7-paragraph response, like saying that I should be a sellout. Like, oh, you're not gonna, like, modeling isn't about your own personal style, it's about selling a product or like doing what a client wants you to do, and you're missing a lot in your portfolio, and like, you have all of your photos have your mouth closed in them, so that tells casting directors that you have dental problems. And it's like, first of all, not all of the photos in my portfolio have my mouth closed in them. Like, I have more than just a Model Mayhem account. I have a 500px account, I have an Instagram, and I have a Facebook. Model Mayhem, you're only allowed to post 15 images for free, and then you have to pay to add more. So I'm not going to pay to add more photos if I can just give someone a link. Like, literally, the second thing on my bio, like the second line of my bio on Model Mayhem, is my Facebook account. It is a hyperlink, and there are tons more photos, and many of them have many different facial expressions. So this guy didn't even take the time to like read my bio or go to like anywhere else, so that was kind of insulting. And then I guess it really depends on how you look at modeling. Like, I don't want to, like, I don't really know how to explain it, especially not in like a snobbish way. Like, image, like I said earlier, is really important to me, and I've struggled with it a lot, and I finally found like a style that makes me happy and that makes me confident and that I really like. And for someone to say like, oh, you should just change that because not many people are going to like it, is so rude. You really don't think that I know not many people are going to like it? Like, I get nasty comments on like my personal Facebook, I get nasty comments in public, I get nasty glares and like kind of expressions. Like, I know that not everyone is going to like it, but this is who I am, and I'd rather not get as much work with being who I am than get a lot more work with doing something that I'm uncomfortable with. I've tried a more conventional look on a few occasions, and while there was nothing wrong with the photos, I just don't want to advertise myself like that. Like, I just don't want to, like, it's not me, and I wasn't really comfortable with it or how I looked, and it just, like, it was so different. I just didn't like it. It was really weird to see like myself with like minimal makeup and like a white t-shirt and all that stuff. It was just, I don't know, it was odd. But that was a little rant. So, and I feel like that's just about pride and stuff like that. Like, I'm very proud of who I am, even if I may be a little weird and a little different. But like, I feel like having to change my style to make money, changing my values, like setting aside like who I am to make money, that's being a sellout, and I don't want to be a sellout. Like, if that's who you are, you go do it. You will get a lot more money, and you will get a lot more offers for people to work with you if you have a more conventional look. But I feel like there is beauty in things that are unconventional, and that's why I want to do this. That's how I want to dress like this. That's why I want to like portray myself like this. But yeah, that's my little, that turned into like a little rant, I'm sorry about that. But that's my little experience with alternative modeling and little tips and tricks and all that kind of stuff. I don't know, I remember when I was like first getting into it, I really wanted to find these kind of videos, but I couldn't find a lot of these kind of videos. So I hope this was helpful to anyone who is interested in this kind of stuff. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them down below.